Hi, I'm Rob from mTuitive, and this is part one of two videos we've made to show you how to create a new postoperative report using mTuitive OpNote. I'll be going slower than usual just for the sake of explaining all the different functions and abilities, but usually only takes 2 or 3 minutes to create a brand new report. We do have another video that shows you how to generate a report from your defaults, as you can see below, and you can find that on YouTube. But this video will be covering creating a report from scratch. In part one, we'll show you how to select the patient, enter the date and staff of surgery, select the procedure performed, select the proper diagnosis, and fill out the following sections of the report: indications for surgery, risk and consent, operative findings, and preparation. All right, let's begin. Going to log into my account. That'll bring me to the OpNote start page. On the left here are all my defaulted reports, and on the right would be any reports that I've saved and haven't signed out yet. To get started, I'll just select New Blank Operative Report, and that brings me to the Find Patient screen. So where I'll select the patient and then verify that is the correct patient before going on to the date and staff. Patient MRN can also be obtained via barcode or any perioperative system, if so desired. If the date of surgery is any other day than the current one, it can be changed. Users can choose from a pre-populated list of possible assistants and anesthesiologists. If the other physicians involved are not on the list, users can type in their name. I'll continue to the procedure I performed. Our procedure chooser allows users multiple ways to find the procedure they have performed. You can search for the operation or look it up by either CPT code or description. Or you can find your procedure by going through the category tree that we have created using the CPT grouping and surgeon input. I'm going to be doing a partial medial meniscectomy with a chondroplasty of the patella, so I'm going to go into the arthroscopies for knee, and then I'm going to choose the medial meniscectomy, and then also the debridement. I can choose as many procedures as I want or performed, and I can also place them in whatever order I perform them in. Satisfied with my selections, I will then hit continue and proceed to the diagnosis chooser. Using Nginx's crosswalk, diagnoses are cross-coded by ICD codes to the appropriate procedures and CPT codes. However, as no cross-coder is ever totally complete, if the diagnosis you are seeking is not on the list, you can search and select it that way. Also, if there's a shorter list of appropriate diagnoses, you can see them all at once in the descriptions view. Just like with the procedure chooser, you can select multiple diagnoses and move them around as you see fit. If the postoperative diagnosis is different than the preoperative diagnosis, then you can select the button on the left. But for our purposes, we'll say they're the same, hit that button on the right, and continue to edit our report. Incorporating Joint Commission standards, we have worked with many surgeons to create a fairly universal structure for the postoperative report. There are common items under each field, called from our surgical consultants, but we allow surgeons to enter in their own answers where applicable. You can see the information we've just been entering is already integrated into the report. Under indications for surgery, I select the reasoning behind this procedure. If the diagnosis was self-evident, like a trauma case, then the physician could select C diagnosis. These are perioperative risk factors, that is to say, factors that may complicate the procedure. I'll choose none. Here's where you determine the status of your patient using the ASA physical status system. OpNote's informed consent section is not meant to replace a signed consent form, but is intended to fortify the position of the surgeon and to guarantee that patients have signed that form, or if they haven't, why they haven't. All of the preloaded items in OpNote come from many operative reports and surgical consultants who have provided us with these answers. However, if the finding you wish to enter isn't here, you can select the text box and start typing. If another OpNote user has entered in that finding, autocomplete will pop up and then you can add it to your own list. If you hit the plus sign, the popular answers show up. These are the 10 most popular write-in answers for this CPT code and related CPT codes. And if I still don't see what I'm looking for, I can just type it in, and it will appear in that part of the report. Move on to the preparation section, which includes anesthesia, position, surgical field, draping, and pre-medication. In most of the fields, you'll find the option to either write in your own answer or see that the field is not applicable. Under pre-medication, you can see an example of a quality indicator that OpNote can track later in research, as I select antibiotic administered within 1 hour of surgical incision. Now, I'm going to pause here and we'll continue in part 2, but this lets me show you another feature of OpNote. If for some reason I have to exit out of my OpNote while I'm working on it, I simply select Save as To Do, and there it is, waiting for me for when I have time to finish it, and it picks up from right where I left off. Be sure to come back for part 2 and learn how to fill out operative description, reorder your selections, and create defaults. Thank you for your interest and your time. Please contact mTuitive today for a demonstration of OpNote. Visit our website at www.mtuitive.com and find out how your organization can improve with OpNote, the cutting edge of surgical reporting.